But with the gift of artificial intelligence, we can solve some of these problems faster and more efficient because we do not have the problem of legacy technologies to get rid of.
Yes.
So we have a clean slate to start from. The continent has so many problems. Like Talifani Banks would always say, I'm sure you know him, he would say, Africa is blessed with problems, right? So our problems are our opportunities. And when we look at the Western world, it's almost like they've run out of things to innovate. It's almost like their systems are so perfect, they don't know what else to use these new technologies to innovate with. Hence, some of the innovation happening in the Western world has now become gender. I do not want to go into those details, but when a country or when a nation does not have many problems...
They've gotten so bored and they don't have problems that they're manufacturing on.
So when there are no real problems to solve, we start seeing these type of problems. Now we have to be solving problems of gender. There are how many genders in the world? There are 100. This month is 50 or next month is 200 genders. So for me, I feel like they've run out of things to innovate. But Africa is blessed with problems. We have real problems on the continent. And we need to be able to use these new tools that are coming to solve these problems. For example, is in manufacturing. It's a big deal in Africa. Many of products being used on the continent are still being manufactured outside, right? And if we are to deploy technologies like, for example, 3D printing, it can completely transform the manufacturing sector on the continent, right? When you even look at construction, if you can bring in robots and all of these new technologies that are happening or that are coming up, it can build roads in shorter times than it would have taken maybe 5 years in the past or 2 years in the past. But if we bring in these new technologies, the work that would have taken 5 years can literally take a year to be completed or less.
We saw hospitals being built in China during the lockdown in crazy times.
Yes. Yes, this is happening everywhere. Even I was in Dubai, like buildings are shooting up overnight, because why they're using overnight. Literally, I'm not talking buildings, like cities. They will find this empty space and before you know, there's a new city being built. Why? Because they are using new tools that makes them do the work cheaper and faster. The same thing in Singapore. The work that is being done when they're building all of these new buildings. And something I noticed in Singapore was that, for example, if there's construction that is happening, there's the morning shift, there's the afternoon shift, there's night shift. There is never a time you pass away, there is new work happening and work is not going on. And then I remember there was this whole thing in Brie Street in town, the explosion that happened. It happened just before I left South Africa. I came back 4 months later. I was shocked.
Nothing's happened.
Nothing had happened. It is still there. I am in Singapore. One of the locals, I'm walking with her and she's showing me, I saw a light flickering. A street light flickering. She showed me, she said, Nicky, you see that light? It was close to my hotel. You see that light? I promise you by tomorrow morning it will be fixed. Either a local is going to call or the people responsible for it because they consistently check if everything is working. Yes. And the next morning it was fixed. So that is how efficient they are. I mean, the system is when it comes, whether it's construction or, manufacturing and all of that. Why can't Africans adopt these new technologies of doing things fast instead of waiting years and years to repair a simple road?